Hi there. Thank you for coming. Is that when I come? Hello. It's okay. Hi. Hi again to the online audience at Zoom and the physical audience here. This is slowly trickling in, but I'll start my talk here. Okay. So we're going to explain today about the Ipse, Ipsa, Ipsum way and how craft, tech, and sustainability are coming together on our platform as we're going ahead. We'll be talking about four different topics. One would be what is Ipse, Ipsa, Ipsum, our effort to weave craft, tech, and sustainability into our offering. How can interior design community and Ipse collaborate to bring this concept to life and take it to the next phase? And lastly, we'll be talking about the Change Maker program for the trade community. So we'll play a brief video on explaining what Ipse, Ipsa, Ipsum is about.
On modern living today. The talent which exists in Singapore for design is really amazing, but probably it hasn't been applied in this genre which we are trying to build. That was the reason why we decided to collaborate with local designers. And of course, the other angle which was very important was we thought that Singapore could be the right crossroad for this new design language from Asia because of its mix of cultures and subcultures which exist there. So we actually went ahead and invested in the Ipse, Ipsa, Ipsum Arts and Crafts Center in India, and where we are encouraging craftsmen to actually come from different parts of India and actually practice their craft there. We have 8 generations of craftsmen doing the bone inlay. Their forefathers were probably working with ivory. Now we actually collect the bone from the butchers, which was being thrown away, and actually get them to practice an age-old craft, which probably wouldn't have survived. Creating the facility in India has taken me almost 3 years. It's not been an easy journey. I did approach. We are trying to disrupt.
How can you as an architect or interior designer be empowered by working with Ipse, Ipsa, Ipsum? So there are fundamentally 2 things, is how do you offer authenticity to your client and how do you differentiate your offering? From an authenticity perspective, we talk about the unique craft and the techniques which are normally not available on a commercial scale. We talk about heritage materials and finishes, and we talk about the artisan and designer collaboration. From a differentiation perspective, we allow the interior designer to customize and individualize products which can exclusively be available via them for their customers, which kind of gives speccing furniture completely different meaning when you work at Ipse, Ipsa, Ipsum. Why Ipse, Ipsa, Ipsum? There is a clear transparency of the whole supply chain. Where did it come from? Where do the materials originate? What countries made in? What are the crafts being used? What are the techniques being used? And most importantly, who is the real person behind it, the real hero, the artisan? Every product finally comes with a QR code, which is actually embedded in the item as a certificate of authenticity, tracing back the journey of how the product was made. A glance at our kitchen, which is the Arts and Crafts Center in India. It's a business started by my grandfather in 1972 when we retired from the first Gurkha Rifles. And we started as a small facility making silverware for the army mess. And now we've sort of gone ahead and branched out into furniture and accessories. This is our facility in India. We are actually based in a little kampong on the foothills of the Himalayas, where you can come, and sometimes when we are lucky, we get peacocks dancing outside our office. You'll see we've created a designer residence program here. And as designers, you can actually come stay in the Arts and Crafts Center and actually work with the artisans, creating your unique pieces for your client. The element of handcraft into luxury furniture, we have several processes which we have in the facility. So it's a factory and factory concept. We've got glass mouth blowing. We've got leather upholstery. We've got blow lamp soldering, various metal finishes like electroplating. We've also got very ancient techniques like swordsmithing, which we are converting to make furniture. And it's quite a delight for people when they come and see how it's done. The customization at Ipsum is you get an order confirmation. Once you confirm the order, the second step is you actually meet the artisan who's making the piece, creating a very unique bond between your home and the makers of furniture in your place. From an interior design perspective, whenever you bring something customized with natural materials, there's always this problem of it's not too green, or it's not too rough, or it's not too refined. So here, before we embark on the journey, you actually get to see the materials which are being used to make your piece. Then you get another email educating you and your customer about what this technique is, which is being used to make your furniture. Then you get another one before the product leaves the Arts and Crafts Center. You and the customer both get to see the product in real life, taking away the stigma of actually having something customized thousands of miles away where you don't know what you're really going to get. And when you approve it, only then the product actually leaves the Arts and Crafts Center. And then you then further can track the progress of the order by sea. I want to talk a little bit about the artisans. So the real reason why this brand exists is because we wanted to sustain and keep alive the ecosystem which sort of has existed for over 40 years. And by actually giving the artisans a chance to come right up in the front with our designers and the brand, there's a new sense of empowerment which they feel towards their contribution towards making this alive. At Ipsum, we don't say that we are transition contemporary or urban modern or coastal contemporary. We actually say we are a foil. And you as a designer have the opportunity to actually create your own look with the techniques and the skills which we have available to you. This slide in some ways really sums up our story at Ipsum. How does sustainable luxury design look like in furniture? I'd like to invite my co-founder, Ruchika, to come and take the sustainability part forward.
Thanks, Sam. Good afternoon, everybody. So I guess one of the questions we've asked is, what is sustainability in luxury design? And I guess it's an evolving topic. It's a buzzword, it's a trending word, but we are at the right point in time to define what it could mean. This is one of the collections we've launched at SIDFest. We call it the biome collection. In this particular collection, we've tried to answer the question of how can you take calls or have your own tranquil corner with the tranquility chair, right about here. We've also questioned how could we incorporate plants as part of the furniture. And this is almost like a living table because we're using an active biome. It's not soil. So you don't have to water the plants and they actually stay alive because it's an active clay. The tables here, we are using offcuts of wood, which is just a waste in our facility. And that's how we've created these tables. But beyond putting it in the product design, the question is, what could be a possible framework to say that this is sustainable luxury design, specifically in the furniture industry? And I would say that the framework can include these various steps, having skilled artisans using traditional craft, using natural or heritage materials, which are disappearing in a way, the life cycle of the product design, I'll go into that further later, something which is made for you or customized for you, having cultural appreciation, economic inclusivity, sustainable use of packaging and logistics, creating ecosystems for the community, and balancing or what luxury means by time versus the dollar spent. If I take a look at what the traditional furniture industry is like, it looks like the top half of this slide. It's quite messy. It's sourcing of the materials from various places. It goes into warehousing. Then that is distributed amongst various processing centers. From there, it goes to the furniture makers. From there, it goes to, again, warehouses globally. And then it reaches the retailers or the end consumer. With a supply on demand model, I think we streamlined it quite a fair bit. The supply chain would kind of look like this. You've placed an order. With ERP integration, we're able to consolidate it. The individual batches are consolidated for the shipping and it reaches the customer. Going a bit deeper into what Ipse does for the various steps, we work with skilled artisans, as Sam mentioned, and welfare of the artisan is key for us. We try to use the hand-making techniques. We preserve the rich or the traditional customs in a way. When it comes to metalworking, we're not just using laser or etching. We're actually using sword-making techniques to make some of the furniture. We also work with a lot of natural materials, something like our cloth, which we use for upholstery. We try to use vegetable dyes. We're trying to use natural materials which can be recycled as well. The life cycle of the product design, I guess here we are bringing the design thinking early on and as a collaboration between the designer and the consumer. You start by looking at the different materials, exploring things on the product customizer on our website, and taking it through augmented reality. So all of this has become play in the beginning of the design process. And then once you place the item, then you actually get to know how it's being made. And that brings the full product design as a full experiential journey rather than just a go to the shop, purchase it, and bring it back home. Sustainable use of packaging is quite obvious, but I think the way you could also think of it is how it is being used in the design, as I mentioned with the offcuts of the wood. As opposed to mass market brands, we design pieces which would be customized and which would fit your space and the requirement. And I think this aspect of furniture making also makes it very sustainable, because if a piece is made to meet a certain need, it will be used hopefully for a longer time. If it is made to your design specifications, it's also special and unique for consumption, and hence hopefully passed on for generations to come. Sustainable use of logistics also means using less of the air freight, reducing your carbon footprint, right choice of material. And that's what we try to do by consolidating the orders. Economic inclusivity in our design, we make sure that we are not saying luxury is unaffordable. It's only for the select few. We're trying to make luxury actually available to more people. So the idea of luxury is changing from just expensive to what could luxury mean? And that's something to ponder upon. Including heritage or having cultural aspect of questions answered or included in the design would be another aspect we feel which can define sustainable luxury design. Time versus dollars. This is a very interesting point. Is it really just where it's coming from because it has taken air freight, it has been couriered over, or the material is expensive, or is it expensive or luxury because it takes so much time to make it? I think handmade pieces really make you question that, and we value the time it makes to it takes to make a piece, and hence we call it luxury. Last but not the least is creating ecosystems, whether it is an ecosystem of designing within your space here or developing the local ecosystems the way we do in India, where not just the artisans, but also the transport guys around the facility or the tea stall owner is relying on this is important. I'd like to conclude this section by taking you through this particular short video. For our sofa, which is a new product line we've introduced, we actually worked with the weavers who hand spun the cotton. And that makes it quite unique because A, they're keeping the traditional way of working, but it also is giving us a very interesting feature in the cloth. This is just a short glimpse of how it For the next section, I'll get Rowan to talk about technology, how we weave that into the brand.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So for technology itself, how do we incorporate technology into our brand? So firstly, on the showroom floor, we have actually placed QR codes on the items itself, so customer can easily scan the QR codes. On the website, we have a customizer, so they can choose the different permutations that we have on the products. Then, after they choose the permutation, they can actually view it in augmented reality. They can cast it real life, and then the customers can also do easy payment through the mobile app and mobile payment gateway. And to encompass everything else, we have our signature experience, which Sam has already covered. So this is actually how our omni-channel experience we have done for the customers. And here is actually a view of augmented reality. So let me play this video. We have actually created a tool where both the customer and ID can use it for their businesses. This is an example of one of our clients. She actually wants to view our product in their bathroom itself. So she sent us a picture of how it looks like. So moving forward, we have 5 stages about how we bring the customer through the journey. So first will be discovery stage. Then you have the exploration stage, purchase, fulfillment, and last one will be chapter, which I'll cover it now. So once the finished product gets delivered to the customer, most of the time that will be the end of the customer journeys. But for us, it's a bit different because we actually capture the different customer journeys. So if you are, if it's okay with you, you can use the phone and you can scan the QR code. You'll be able to see one of our customer journey itself, which is the Juchet sideboard. So you can see the allocation of the craftsman, the allocation of the different craftsmen that we do, and then we will have the finished product, and then how we create the product for the customer. So all this information is captured within this QR code. We actually create a special link for them. So lastly, we have these are the technologies that we use for companies. We have partnered with different companies, which is the Poly9, Conigo, for exploration and expansion, the business expansion. For digital, we have partnered with all this. I mean, I think you're quite familiar with them. Lastly, this the Hula and the Tumi actually help us really because of this buy now pay later scheme. And the last one, we have this discovery stage. So actually, this is how we reach out to the customers. So we enter into the marketplace and also the social media. Lastly, we also have partnered with Amazon Explore. So that's actually how we branch overseas to actually capture more orders of that. All right, end of my note. So in fact, send to end of the change maker.
Thank you, Rohan. So Changemaker program, I mean, this is something where we are actually calling out and telling the industry that, you know, why don't you support our cause and join us in this journey of trying to disrupt the way we see the industry at the moment. So as an interior designer, when you sign up for the Changemaker program, there's a minimum discount, a designer discount, which you can get. And, you know, you also get a chance to actually do some bespoke design with us, where we can talk, you know, where we can help you create a very unique offering for your clients. So apart from spatial design and other things, you know, we're offering this unique service where, you know, your product kind of becomes your signature product in your design, and your customer carries what you do. These are some of the collaborations we've done so far. The Crazy Rich Asians, we did about 43 pieces for the movie. We met the production team at the initial stage, and we actually, they gave us personas of all the actors, and then we kind of helped to curate the pieces for the sets. We were also involved in the Dempsey Brook House project with Paolo Lavoni, a Milanese-based architect. And this is another hotel we've done in Rosh Pina, which is in Israel, where they wanted a stately home with a mix of vernacular materials in the space. We are launching our new wall panel solution program in the SIDFest, where we are taking all the material which we've used so far for furniture, but actually making it as a very easy way to do feature walls. So all of this is lightweight material and can be used in various configurations. I'd be happy to, you know, please contact us and we can go through the program with you. These are the various materials we have, which we'll be incorporating into our wall panel solution. So we'd like to encourage you to sign up, collaborate, co-create, and help to make the ecosystem more robust at Ipsum. Thank you very much. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer. Anything on Zoom? Thank you for coming. Appreciate your time.
you.